Hey yo, and welcome to Politibro. My name is Brian, and Scott Perry does not hold back on these terrible mayors and their awful record, particularly when it comes to legal immigration. But what this Chicago mayor ends up saying will absolutely horrify you. Let's dive in.
By either definition or by claim, each of you, I think, could justifiably say represent what's considered a sanctuary city. If you could describe it, what would you, sanctuary from what? Anybody? Mayor Johnson, you want to start? Mayor Johnston?
Thank you, Congressman. I welcome that because I wanted to clarify. We do not shield people from federal law.
I just asked you what, so you don't consider yourself a sanctuary city?
We provide services and supports.
Do you consider yourself a sanctuary city? That's just.
We do not under that definition.
You don't use the definition, you're not a sanctuary.
We call ourselves a welcoming city.
Okay, so what are you welcoming and who are you not welcoming?
Well, we're welcoming everybody.
Okay.
We don't keep folks.
So you're welcoming criminals that you don't have any idea what their crime background is, and you're good with that?
No, we aggressively pursue.
How do you do that?
No.
How do you vet the people that you welcome in your sanctuary city?
Sir, we don't vet folks that arrive from Illinois or California with a background check when they come into the Denver airport any more than someone from another location.
So you're welcoming any illegal immigrant or illegal alien to your city without question?
Well, folks that make the decision to come to Denver, they arrive, and then we expect
but
them to
you
get
call
a job,
them, you
pay
welcome
taxes.
them. You welcome them. You call them to your city and say, if you come here, you will be safe from what?
Thank you, sir. We don't call anyone to our city. Folks that arrive in our city, we offer same access to services they may need to be successful. And if they break the law, we hold them accountable, we charge them, we prosecute them.
What about if they've already broken the law?
Well, if they've already broken the law and there is another jurisdiction that has a warrant for that person, they let us know and we would cooperate to transfer them to that jurisdiction.
I think we saw in Mr. Jordan's conversation with you that you really don't do that. Mayor Johnson, how about you? How many, according to my records, you have welcomed 51,648 illegal aliens to your sanctuary city. So I'd ask you, sanctuary from what?
If you're referring to the number of individuals that were bused from Governor Abbott without any coordination, the 52,000 individuals that were seeking asylum, those individuals were bused to us. I passed a bus ordinance to work to coordinate with the governor of Texas. He refused to do that. But that transfer of individuals was the result of the governor of Texas, not the result of a welcoming city ordinance.
Welcoming city ordinance. So you're not welcoming these people that came here illegally?
The individuals that were bused to us from the border. From
They were not
Governor
welcome in Chicago? You didn't welcome them? You didn't provide them sanctuary?
So the welcoming city ordinance is pretty straightforward. It allows for our local law enforcement to focus on local policies, and that's why we're seeing a decline in violence.
So you don't care about federal law enforcement policies, only local policies?
We comply with all laws. What I do care about is this body, Washington, passing comprehensive immigration
So let me ask you this. Chicago residents reported 28,443 violent crimes during 2024 alone, cases of aggravated assault rising to the highest level in 2 decades. Now, also, state funds, $160 million, were issued to illegal alien job assistance shelters in Chicago. You're the mayor of Chicago. Do you think that your residents or the residents of your state should be paying for that more than they should be paying for their own needs, their own roads, their own public safety? I mean, who elected you? The people that came illegally, whether they were sent to you or not, or the people that reside in Chicago? Who elected you? And who do you serve?
The people of Chicago elected me as the 57th mayor of the city of Chicago, and we serve all the residents of the city of Chicago.
Illegal or not, criminal or not. How many of the 662,566 illegal aliens with criminal histories that ICE has reported are now residing in Chicago?
Someone will have to get back with you with that number.
Do you
I don't
take
keep account
do you
of.
take immigration information from criminals as they're arrested and processed? Do you take immigration information?
Our local law enforcement focuses on getting
Do you
all
take,
violent
do you, do you
individuals off the
determine
streets
whether
of
they're here
Chicago.
legally, what their immigration status is, as a function of your justice
Gentleman's
system?
time's expired, but please feel free to answer the question, Mayor.
The Welcome in City ordinance ensures that our local residents communicate and trust local law enforcement to ensure that criminals and crime is being addressed.
So
And
you
that's
have
why
no
violent
idea how many
crime
are illegal.
has
Thank
gone
you,
down
Mr.
in the
Chairman.
city
I'll
of
yield.
Chicago.
This mayor, who is in charge of one of the largest cities in America, is blaming a Texas governor for busing in illegal migrants. Yes, that's the only obvious cause to the illegal immigration problem in Chicago. Obviously, we can't take responsibility for our own asinine, terrible policies that do nothing but hurt our own population. No, we have to blame Republicans. Yo, I get it. Chicago's built different. It's still run by a mafia. It is still based in ridiculous Democrat Party politics, and it is the leech on the good state that is the rest of Illinois. I get it. Their pizza isn't as good as New York City. It's the end result for a whole lot of it's the last terminus of all of our old beef rail lines. That's the only reason Chicago is an important city. Let's be real here. The reality is, Chicago has been completely and totally taken over by woke, ridiculous, asinine Democrat policies. And I can't stress the Democrat part enough, because as I say constantly on this channel, Democrats can't govern. All right? They can't. And it's not because they're not able to. It's because the people that elected them, that is the rich white liberals who live in their gated communities, who don't have to deal with the south side of Chicago, these people will continue to elect anyone that ticks off all of their boxes. A black, minority, former victim, it does not matter. All you have to do is tick off the boxes. The policies won't ever hurt the people that live in the suburbs but consider themselves Chicagoans, okay? These people wouldn't know a deep dish pizza from an Italian beef sandwich, okay? First of all, the very idea that you're blaming your entire illegal immigration problem on Texas, okay? Texas, who had to export illegal migrants because back then the Biden administration did nothing to solve the problem at our southern border. That's a federal issue. You'd think that the president would care, but now we have a president that actually does, and Tom Homan is now actually bringing up a lawsuit against the good people of Chicago. So congratulations, you made your bed, lie in it. Okay? You are in for a world of hurt, Chicago. And this mayor, let's be honest, when it comes to actually dealing with federal law enforcement, Illinois laws prevent police from cooperating with federal immigration enforcement efforts in civil immigration cases, but do not prevent such cooperation in criminal cases where there is a federal warrant issued. So translation, Chicago, if there's no crime committed, will not help federal law enforcement. That is by definition a federal crime. And I hope Donald Trump lets Tom Homan off the leash and go after the city of Chicago. Maybe that'll clean up a part of the problem there. It won't fix the whole problem there, but apparently it gets even worse for them. In Chicago, police do not ask about an individual's immigration status, and city services are not denied to individuals based on immigration status. Translation, it is a sanctuary city where if you wind up there, you are going to be protected by Chicago law enforcement, although now that there's federal law that actually will actually bother to follow what's actually written in our statute of laws at the federal level. And so now Chicago's between a rock and a hard place. You can either admit that you screwed up and start working with federal agents to deal with the issue, or you can face a civil litigation so bad that you might have to have a federally appointed mayor to literally reconstruct Chicago. I think both California and Chicago could deal with some actual reconstruction. We tried that in the South, didn't quite work, but maybe we'll get it right this time, because these Democrats refuse to fess up They refuse to deal with the problems, and instead of admitting that they've screwed up, instead of doing that, they blame the issue of legal immigration on Republicans. Give me a break. I have no ties to Chicago, all right? I'm a Southern boy. Chicago's Yankee land to me. But let's be honest. It's called the Windy City. They've got the Sears Tower. They've got deep dish pizza and a former Herman Cain fan, may he rest in peace. I'm a big fan of deep dish pizza. But you'd think that Chicago would care about their city, would care about the people that are actually making that town what it is, and they'd start dealing with the problems that are lingering in their own city. From the south side to the suburbs, it's time for Chicago to wake up and realize that Democrats have given them nothing but a raw deal, time and time and time again. They gave them a raw deal in the 60s with the trial of the Chicago 7. That was under Democrat control. Now they're dealing with an illegal immigration pandemic, for lack of a better word. And now instead of dealing with the problem, they want to blame it on someone else. No. The chickens have come home to roost. It is time for Chicago to face the music. There's a problem going on, and the federal government under Donald Trump and Tom Homan, our border czar, is going to start taking care of the problem. So Chicago, you're welcome. All right? We saved you from yourselves, and this will continue until you start complying with federal laws. This mayor is in for a world of hurt, and unlike the Denver mayor who's realized that he has to lawyer up, this guy is going to continue to play the race card and grift as long as he can until he finally gets removed from office, which is what I predict is going to happen to him. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on Politbro. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. And until then, y'all have a good one.